though, because when you speak about it, man, it sets you free. But all of a sudden, I became acutely aware of my nakedness and my inability. All of a sudden, Goliath was standing there, pointing at my nakedness and my inability to do all of the things that were in my heart to do. Well, you know, the thing is that it wasn't going to be based on my ability.
Right.
So my inability and my nakedness didn't come into play.
Right.
You see?
Right.
Thank God indeed.
We're all making it.
But you see, in that moment, he come and got me filled with fear and shame. Shame that I was praying that prayer, and fear of going to do. Well, that prayer was strengthening me to go do what he had for me to do. I was receiving nutrients from it. And he come and was like Goliath, where he defied the armies of Israel, defied the people of God. That word defy means to uncover by way of stripping. And so the Goliath comes from the root word, which means to uncover one's nakedness, to lay bare another's nakedness, to show or to reveal another person's nakedness.
Wow.
And so when Goliath was standing there defying the people of Israel, he was uncovering their nakedness, just like one of Noah's sons came and uncovered his nakedness. He was laying bare their weakness and their inability to overcome him. If you really are the people of God, send out your champion and let us fight. See, he was defying them as the people of God. He was laying bare their nakedness and their weakness and their inability to overcome him. And he was shaming them for it. He was mocking them as the people of God. The serpent was mocking man as the people of God. The serpent was standing at the cross, the very place where Goliath's head was buried. And he was mocking the Son of Man as the child of God.
And what's awesome about that is David comes out in his nakedness and defeats Goliath.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes,
Exactly.
and they tried to clothe David with the works of
Right.
man's
Yeah.
hands
Yes.
because they gave him the sword, they gave him the armor, they gave him the shield, and David said no.
Burdensome.
David was full of grace and truth.
Yes.
And David comes and says, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that's speaking against my people, that's speaking against God's people? You know, uncircumcised means the word he's speaking is unclean. It means it's not sanctified. It's not set apart from the Spirit of God. It hasn't come from above.
Aha.
It's come from below.
Yes, there you go.
So when he calls Goliath an uncircumcised Philistine, he's not talking about something carnal. He's saying the words of this guy, defying us and laying bare our nakedness and pointing at our weakness as if that's somehow the evidence that we're not the people of God. His word is unclean. It hasn't come from above. It hasn't come from the Spirit of God. It's like when God prophesied in Genesis 3, and he tells the serpent, he says, he tells the serpent that the seed, that you will bruise the heel of the seed of woman, and the seed of woman will crush your head. You know, God was prophesying to the serpent. You know what he was really saying? Because we know the seed of woman is Jesus, right?
Yeah, right.
Jesus is God. Do you know what God was telling the serpent? The serpent's too stupid to know. God was telling the serpent, I'm going to come as a man. I'm going to come as the friend of man. I'm going to come as the friend of sin. I'm going to come as their advocate, and I'm going to crush your head, you uncircumcised devil. Because you coming and unveiling the nakedness of my people and pointing at it as if it's a word that they're not mine and I'm not their father has not come from above.
Yes.
Wow.
Right.
And I'm going to destroy the sin and the death that you used, watch carefully this word, to slander my people. We think that what the serpent was saying about us was true.
Right.
And then we get so confused about that, we think God was the one saying it. We were being slandered, guys. He was slandering us.